recording.
Alright. And alright. So when we last left this band of adventurers, you'd spent the next 3 weeks, the next 3 weeks, relaxing, training, and generally just you know getting feeling out the your time here in the ship. While doing so, at the end of those 3 weeks, you decide to go diving into the ocean to find what, find some, maybe some more crafting materials, maybe some more fish, maybe some more treasures. Oh, who knows? And you did find treasures and crafting materials, and plenty of fond memories. In those treasures, though, however, you stumbled upon an artifact capable of not only further enhancing and frankly augmenting and frankly enhancing a spellcaster's capabilities for spellcasting. You also found you found a very powerful artifact. And with that, we'll continue on the next day. For a moment, I need to invite the bot into here. I completely forgot about that. Forgive me, I just need to find the things. Oh, come on.
Wow. Alright, roll 20. Come on.
Give it a moment. It's loading again. Let's check.
No, it's already been like 8 minutes. Okay. Good job, roll 20. Good. Just get rid of that red bar and everything will be okay. You haven't even loaded my character.
It doesn't even say you're in the game. Well, for my end.
It's on my end, thanks you. Bloody! How do people go over like 10? Why do people go over 10 hours for the noises for ambiance of the Mariana Trench? Of all, okay, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. These things are just. It's just humanity in general. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, I'm going to. Okay, it's been going on long enough where I'm going to check the link for the status because god dang it.
I'm just going to switch it to the
too much time for
screen that's loading. Or it's loading the entire world map. Maybe, perhaps.
No, it's loading in the entire compendium. The compendium is the issue. It doesn't matter what map we're on.
Oh, yeah, like we've told you this several times, man. We've told you this several times. Like you have way too much stuff. Like
fair enough.
And you're not going to do anything about it, are you?
I mean, am I?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll try. Let's see here.
All right. By the way, can everyone see that hello?
Yeah, we saw.
Yes.
Responded.
Yes.
Okay. Then that's the best I can get, I guess. Alright.
See, Mass Duke's in the game, just not in voice chat yet.
By the way, I love this artwork. Can you send it to me so I can put it as a map?
If I can find it again, maybe. Yeah. Let's come on. What is it? Oh, I think. All right, adjust the audio. So, yeah, I put in the music and just put in. All right. So, Mammoth, as you spend an hour to attune to it, you don't feel particularly odd, and as the night comes in and you, where do you stow away? Do you stow away the artifact, or do you sleep with it?
He places it in his lap, and I'm going to go for that point of exhaustion because, and he's going to bond with it.
All right.
Actually, no,
I need to
wouldn't
make
really be a point of exhaustion if he meditated on it. Now, would it?
It's still it's not particularly physically exhaustive, and it only takes an hour to attune to it, so
We're just
fine.
skipping over rows one on the same day.
Yeah.
So what do I need to roll?
I need to make a Constitution saving throw if you want to spend the night just staying up, keeping an eye on the object.
He's probably going to study it, so yeet.
Alright. Oh, hello. 5.
That's a 5.
Alright. Mammoth, you try to stay up as long as you can to just look at any signs of anything on this object. And you try as you might to stay awake. You can't help but find your consciousness fading as you fall asleep. As you do, you wake up in the bottom of the ocean, you think. But you see very clearly that you're still technically in your room. The only reason you think it's the bottom of the ocean is because you're familiar with the sort of the weight the ocean floor has. But something's different. You're in your room. Everything is, for the most part, normal, except some things are floating about. And as you look in your hands, you do see that the artifact is there, but it just looks like a normal, large bag. As you do, and as you look around, you feel bitter coldness enveloping your hand.
He looks down at his hands.
You appear to have a blade of ice in your hands. And in addition to that, your body feels tougher, almost. So for your first 2 D100 rolls, you can cast Ice Knife at first level, and after which you have to roll a D6. And if you roll a 1 to a 5, you cannot cast the spell again until the next dawn. If you roll a 6, however, you can cast it again. And in addition, while attuned to this artifact, you gain a +1 bonus to your armor class. So those are the minor benefits, which are nice. And
So
also
I'm going to add Ice Knife.
However, let's see here. You smell something sour It almost smells like rotting fish. Or more to be more precise, you know, like whenever you get like a fish bone or some, you know, some seafood stuck between your teeth, and you end up forgetting about it for a while, and it ends up stinking up your mouth. Yeah, you smell that on you. While attuned to the artifact, you emit a sour stench noticeable up to 10 feet away, and you feel a bit ill at this scent. While attuned to this artifact, or attuned to the last breath, you are physically ill and have disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws that use strength or constitution. So you're a bit more spellcastery and you're a bit more protected, but you smell a bit and you're a bit more vulnerable physically. And as you sort of notice this about you and blink, you notice one moment you're in your room and now you're not. You're in a lecture hall. You're sitting you're sitting on a chair, and as you look around, you notice several shadowy humanoid forms, formless and unconventionally peculiar. You can't quite put your finger on what is off about them aside from being masses of shadow, but it's there. As you sort of gather yourself, you hear footsteps in the main hall of this lecture hall. Click, 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 click. Even in the muffled underwater, even in the underwater, the sounds of these footsteps is apparent. And you see a man. A human man, actually. Or at least you think that at first before you notice rather large gills across the sides of his neck. He appears to be wearing a simple button-up shirt, black pants, a vest, and appears to be carrying a pile of books, notes, and other such things. But he doesn't appear to have the sort of wispy nature that would be normal with people that walk underwater. It appears like he's walking like if you were on land. It's just, as he turns, he says, "My apologies. Sorry for the intrusion. Sorry for being late. Looks like some of the other professors had a bit of a party and apparently made a bit of a mess." As you hear from the other shadows, laughter from hundreds of thousands of voices. That being said, we'll get to the lesson of the day. He grabs a stick of chalk out of thin air as a
I'm in my underwear.
coalesces in a rush of air bubbles across the wall behind him. Now, can anyone tell me what magic is?
Mammoth raises his hand.
Yes, you. As he
magic.
He stops for a moment and waits for
magic is a force of nature. Magic is the very force of nature that holds everything together. We, as magic users, can bend that to our will, creating various classes of magic.
Is that what you... Alright, do you say that?
Yes.
Okay. As you do, you hear a cacophonous laughter. As the professor raises his hands. No, that's not a wrong answer, depending on who you ask. The actual correct answer is far more complex. Magic, he sort of, as he writes down, magic is the unnatural modification of reality through esoteric or unnatural means or rites, either through spells, rituals, or certain supernatural abilities. Magic is, depending on what kind of mage you are, it can certainly be a force of nature, something natural that normally occurs. Say, in the case of you, a druid. But at the end of the day, the ending result is always unnatural and goes against the very laws of reality. People just can't create a ball of fire in their hands and toss it at some ne'er-do-well down the street. They need to have a certain mindset and certain things occur. They need to be diseased, in some cases, with witches or the accursed, or in some sorcerers' bloodlines. But at the end of the day, and say this together with me, you my fellow students, what is magic? As you hear this, as he sort of writes it down there, finishes writing something across the chalkboard, you notice something odd. Roll an Arcana check.
Alright. Give me your Arcana. Yeet.
17. The writings on the chalkboard are just a repeating phrase. Magic is a disease. Magic is disease. Magic is a disease. Magic is a disease. Magic is a disease. Magic is a disease. And as he finishes writing this up, you notice the last thing he has written there is, and mages are the symptom. As you hear from around, and all the voices in unison, simply say, an unnatural and disgusting, reality. As you see all the faces slowly turn towards you, every single shadowy humanoid form. And with your 17 Arcana, you're able to discern that magic is an unnatural way of, altering reality using unnatural means, but no one really refers to magic as diseases unless you're of a certain terroristic alignment. And as you notice these people, these shadowy look at you, you notice vacant, glowing white holes where their eyes should be. As their maws open, you see the same light emanating from it. And you hear a cacophonous scream. Let us. As you wake up. You wake up in a cold sweat. Your hand holding the horn, the pointed part of this tooth, towards yourself, above your heart. Make a insight.
Alright, hold on. Yeah. Inside. There you are.
You don't know why this is happening. You don't know. You don't directly know for certain That might be the entity inside it's doing for this. Perhaps it's some sort of incompatibility, but even then, artifacts are they're powerful and dangerous, but something like this would be mentioned, right? For something like this. Right. As you look at the you think as you look at the tooth. You notice that your arms are heavy and stiff, as if you've been holding this tooth above in that exact position for hours.
He decides to put it in his bag of holding.
Alright. As you do, you notice you can't seem to let go of it. You notice that there appears to be some sort of ice-like. There appears to be ice enveloping around, sort of not around the hand itself, but so much as sort of tracing the outline of your fingers. It's very thin, but it's noticeable. And you begin to put two and two together. This object is also cursed. The artifact will refuse to unattune to the wielder as long as they are alive, unless some casts a spell such as Dispel Curse or something like that.
He looks at it. Well, we got to work together now, don't we?
You don't hear a response.
He's not looking for a response. Alright. This is how it's going to be. I'll keep you out of the bag. And I won't unattune. But you're going to have to work with me. As he actually puts it in his belt like a knife. And he tries to let go of it now.
You cannot. It appears to be stuck to your hand. Almost as if someone had glued it to it. Except minus the glue.
Okay, this is like he's looking at this like this is going to really be annoying. Like, alright, mate. You're being a dick. And honestly, I'm kind of regretting not throwing you over. So, come on, let go. I'm not going to unattune. I'm not going to do anything you're not going to like. Just let me keep you on my person without having me hand loot to you.
Make a wisdom save for that as you try to pull it off.
Yeet.
Alright, just enough. You do, as you sort of carefully pry it off, you notice your hand feel a little bit warm as it melts off, and you hear in the back of your head, release. In the back of your mind.
He's not saying this out loud. He's thinking in his head. So you're the thing that's bound to it.
No response.
Oh, great. And he goes up and he starts to call a meeting of casters.
Okay.
In the middle of the night, hell yeah.
Oh, this is actually the morning. This is the morning.
Oh.
So he's going to Zormus, he's going to Xeris, he's going to the crew, he's going to Shauna, he's just gathering everyone he can to get a meeting of magical beings.
I'll bring
Mages, yeah. Alright. Alright. You know, it's the morning, you gather everyone. Augustus joins, kind of confused.
He doesn't want to hold it again because he's afraid of getting it glued to his palm again. The tooth.
Alright, and Solithis. So Solithis, Ashana, and Xeris are there. Yeah?
And he explains the dream.
Some of the crewmates.
Cool. Do you want to involve the crew and let them know the existence of this artifact? The last breath?
That's what he's doing.
Was the first person I was told.
Yeah.
Are you
going to involve your captain as well?
Well, yes, this is her.
Alright. Alright. What does Mammoth reveal?
He reveals everything except what it does, and he's looking at Solithis. This is on a need-to-know basis kind of look.
Can I roll a history or something for the terrorist thing, the anti-magic, whatever?
Also curious.
Yes, this would be a history.
Because I feel like someone that's magically numb would want to know that.
Anyone who anyone who wishes to can roll a history, because this is more along the lines of them being more prevalent in current events. So, all right, so.
Normally?
Yes, normally. So even if you're not proficient, you can roll history.
All right.
I don't think I know anything.
Keep that.
Let's see here. Okay. So, Riker, is there going to try to see if he knows anything about this terroristic organization? Riker, are you there?
Okay, yeah.
All right. All right. All of you know of the terrorist organization that, as you sort of gather your thoughts, everyone knows of this sort of terrorist organization that does share this belief of magic being unnatural and thereby a disease, or at least in some semblance of the word. There's two factions that come in mind. There are the Ors, sort of rogue clerics and paladins who devote themselves to a particular line of thinking where essentially divine casters should be the gods should absolutely not meddle in the affairs of mortals. And as such, they often essentially perform often heretical and monstrous acts in order to steal power from these beings, essentially from these peoples who practice divine magic, like clerics or paladins or what have you. Basically, using the disease against the disease is their line of thinking. However, there is another faction that comes to mind. There's Mouse. The faction of Mouse is often referred to as a just purely anti-arcane magic sort of terrorist organization. They believe that people, in general, should not perform arcane spells because, well, or should not mass produce magic items or anything of the sort that is people still do today. Because their talking points and reasoning behind are less, crazy to say the least. Mostly citing areas of magic pollution, the mutations thereof, making sure health is prioritized above all else, and believe that magic should only be performed if it can be easily taken away by a higher power that can be trusted. So while they are anti-arcane magic, they are not anti-magic, period. They just want, accountability for mages in general, in the form of a higher power.
I like to think of it as less as anti-magic in general and anti-mass production of it.
Yeah. And of course, they saw, the reasonings behind it are noble to certain degrees, but they're, well, let's just say their recent actions in rash in invading and aligning themselves with the cult of Azathoth and Illithid and a strange Illithid civilization is not helping the righteousness of their cause. However, Ashana, you know of another organization, much more obscure than these two factions, but they certainly, they're still active to this day. They're just not, well, extremely active. The faction that I'm referring to is simply known as the. Let's see here. It's simply known as the Zess corporate, not Zess, but as Zess. They. I'll just type it out in the Roll20. They just are hardline anti-magic. They believe that magic should be destroyed in its entirety. That no person should ever wield magic, whether it be through granting it through a pact, whether it be through devotion, whether it be through oversight of the wills of nature, whether it be bloodline, they don't care. Magic, in their belief, is because of its unnatural effects and the temptation it grants in the sort of the cases of Mage's madness, a legitimate psychological disorder in this setting, in the world. It should be just for the sake of health, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. It should just be shut down. No one should have it. Just rely on technology and science. However, they haven't exactly been particularly active in the last 100 years. And the most recent thing they had done has been, well, shutting down a rather large, cult that was hell bent on bringing back a certain divine being, trying to bring back a dead god. So no one knows for certain where they are, whether they're good or evil, but you can certainly see the sort of societal and economic ramifications they have. And as such, most countries, if not all of them, just outright just hunt them down. If you have any information, they'll pay you a handsome fee. They'll pay you a lot of money if the information turns out to be correct. So that is what all of you know, except for though Shana knows more of this Zess organization. So, does Shauna introduce this or speak of this Zess organization?
Sean, bring that up after everybody finds the first two. And, yeah, there's another. Then she'd bring up this.
Yeah. I guess uh, Rosewinter will be the first one to ask. Like, hand on her hip, like, confused, like, now why on earth are you in a lecture hall with a magical terrorist, or anti-magical terrorist? In your dream? She kind of raises her arms, confused. There's a lot of things I can explain away, but that, I got nothing.
And he also shows pretty much the tooth dagger. And this seems to have a curse on it as well. As he hates to do this, but he grabs it and he lets his thumb and 4 fingers go. Hopefully it doesn't fall from his hand, making him look like an idiot.
It does not fall. In fact, you can't seem to pry your hands from it.
See? Again, he's like shaking it like the cartoon where he's glued to it.
Must first.
It's no surprising a thing of that power has a downside to it.
And he's going to try and pry it off again. So
Make
wisdom.
Another wisdom save.
Yeet.
Do we now? Here's an interesting question. Do we all smell him?
Yes, you all smell him. He smells like rotting fish.
And he also wants, at the beginning of the meeting, ignore the smell. It's because of this fucking thing.
Alright. With a 24, not only are you able to easily pry it off, you also hear something else in the back of your mind. Mammoth. Secrets left unfulfilled.
Good for you. You don't share, so why should I care? He's not saying this out loud. He's like... Yo, he looks really annoyed. Look, does anyone have perfume?
Here's a education card.
I don't.
What?
Perfect.
Yeah. If Sasha, the first mate, is there, she would 100% hand you a bottle of her perfume.
I'm sorry, but I'm probably going to waste this because, let's face it, I don't think anyone wants to smell rotting fish. But he unscrews it and just dumps it right on his head. He probably now smells like lilacs and rotting fish.
Basically, yeah.
The fragrance is called snake oil.
So it doesn't really smell like anything.
Come on, that's a great pun. She's a Yuan T pureblood.
I know.
Get it?
Here's the notes for Zest. If you wish to add more as you discover, well, the motto for them is Et Magicae Divina Urbe Regnoci Tarquinios. Magic and Divine Expulsion.
She kind of, at the talk of the Zest, she kind of thinks for a second. I might be able to get the Righteous Ne'er-do-wells, trademark, to see what they have to say about it.
Okay.
Perhaps some of my old crewmates might know a little bit more.
Well, that's all like up.
Right.
Could I roll an Arcana to see if it cursed?
Roll an Arcana to see if you know what's going on.
Because like cursed, but just that's
With a 25, you know that if it were cursed, Solthus would have picked it up because he had a Hexham's Pearl, if I remember correctly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should have. There might be more to be read from it. Now that someone has attuned to it. Basically, certain magic items can reveal, unless they're cursed immediately, in which case it would be revealed if somebody had a Hexham's Pearl, but certain effects that are not technically curses can occur afterward, can be made known afterwards, but can sort of slip under the cracks of rituals and spells known as like identified things or legend lore. However, those sort of things are usually very minor. They don't apply curses like being unable to wield it. Those sort of things are are quite potent and should be visible outright. But then again, this is an artifact, and as such, this might play with some different set of rules.
I mean, out of game, what if the being that's inside of it purposely suppress the curse so that someone's more likely to attune to it?
That is not possible for a magic item. If it's cursed, it is on it. But it isn't always cursed.
mean,
Again, remember, artifacts, they're unpredictable. So
what are you saying, that this item wasn't originally cursed?
basically, yes. Much like the proper additional properties that an artifact may have. In this case of this object, it doesn't always have to be cursed. But yes, so does Ashana bring this theory up?
so out of game. It was fun. I'm gonna cast remove curse. I like that. Would I?
I don't think you'd actually wait. Just remove curse.
Well, it was the wizard thing.
Magic
It is.
initiative?
Cleric paladin.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cleric
because,
paladin wizard.
Wizard. The wizard's technical. A little bit.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, actually, let's see here. Yeah. Yeah. Augustus sort of raises his hands and says, "I can remove the curse if you want. I just need to, some time. But if you want to get it checked out right now to see what's going on with it, that's fine by me. Just
He looks at it like, we need to remove my attunement to it.
Yeah. Anyone know how to identify this thing, right? Or anyone know identify? Aside from me.
Fine.
All right. You focus on that. I'm gonna go grab a few things I need for the
We'll identify it again. Wonderful. Things that change down properties. Oh, goody, goody, goody.
All right. You ritual cast identify, and I need you to make an Arcana check.
Good all Arcana. Okay.
Can give the guy.
Doesn't it?
I don't think. I don't. Yeah, I don't think this is needed. With a natural 20, as you sort of read through the information in your mind, you notice breaks and almost like new lines of text have been added into a new copy of a book. You notice that there are two new things added to it, aside from five new facts have been added that were not there before. The caster, the attuned creature, while attuned to the artifact, the wielder can cast Ice Knife
Okay.
at first level,
Yeah,
that's
with
stuff,
it.
plus 1 AC. But then there's another one,
Okay.
another segment. Curse of, let's see here, Curse of Greed. While while attuned to the last breath, the wielder is unable to remove it unless they succeed a DC save throw. After a success, if they attempt to, the artifact will reappear within 5 feet of the creature in an unoccupied space. If farther away, the artifact is more than 5 feet away.
What was the DC saving throw?
The DC 13 Wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
And you also notice something a last bit that wasn't there before. Let's see here. Aeon's Agony. The Aeon sealed inside of this object damns and curses the bearer with one random curse. With one random curse, basically. Sorry, take a while I'm using. And let's see here. And we'll whisper, and when a creature is sleeping, we'll reveal small forms of intimate memories from previous wielders, from previous people who are tuned to this artifact. But not only does this artifact curse its wielder and also grants it the wielder's useful benefits, it also appears to steal a bit of, or copy a bit of memory from the previous attuners, which is particularly fascinating for you because this is, for a sentient object to do this, it has to have evolved in some way, shape, or form beyond its original intention, which could make this, well, it's not unstable, but it's certainly unreal.
That's.
Do you relay
let
this?
us know about that.
Do you relay this
Yeah.
to Wolfus? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that explains why you're having dreams of a terrorist organization. The previous user was a part of the terrorist organization. I wonder what previous memory you'll have next.
Yes, so it'll be quite interesting now, won't it? What are your opinions on it? Like, he's looking at all of the magical users. Do the boons outweigh the negatives?
Let it go is too much of a difference, I suppose. Greens could get annoying, though.
The stench was
Whatever else.
the stench
Downside
is
time
already.
for you.
Stench has already given me a headache.
Unfortunately, as you know, I can't really deal with that.
What I'm saying is that alone is a huge negative that I personally might not agree to. But you'll have to agree that the benefits are pretty nice. If you're tall,
Forecasting.
Just, I know I'm not taking it though.
I can't use magic.
I wouldn't. No.
Negative waste. Should. The second. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's going on now? You guys just
We're pretty much like, what should we do with this? Like, the negatives is I smell like shit, and if I touch it again, it's probably going to stick to my fucking hand.
Well, I mean, you
Like a
do have to
motherfucker.
have. It's only a 13 wisdom check, which is not that big.
So, do you have
Bro.
disadvantage to all save check?
What? Sorry. If it's one of those things where you're considering about keeping it, then just fuck it and just keep it. Like, but if you're one of those things where you're actually considering whether you're actually get rid of it, then lock it back in a chest and we'll bury it somewhere deep. Because rethrowing it back in the ocean will just mean someone else will find it. But if at least you bury it, there's less likely a chance that someone will stumble across it.
Still, I can't.
So,
Yeah.
but if well, it's one of those things where if you bury it deep enough, it's just not worth it.
I'm keeping it. Don't worry about that. I mean, I knew there would be negatives to the positives. I mean, we can now probably get to the Ivana Union faster.
I mean, being able to control the weather alone is a big enough boon.
Cool. So, are you gonna proceed with sailing, or you guys got more interactions, whatnot?
He's going to actually ask if we should try the control weather aspect of this this item to the captain.
I just realized Anthony wasn't here. That's why we are not proceeding. Talent.
Maybe use your druid craft to see what the weather is going to be first.
All right.
Wait for Auntie.
But yeah, wait for Andy.
Yeah, I just realized he wasn't here. That's why I just like I was like, why are we not proceeding? Oh, he's missing.
Yeah.
Andy is killed crab rave.
Yeah, did he say anything before fucking going offline, or did he?
I just still in the roll 20.
There.
I bet he did say something, but he skipped out, or his mic didn't register it.
I didn't hear him say a single thing. So. Guys, hello. Welcome back. Hello, maybe.
And
Sorry about that. Internet just.
what happened?
All I heard was sorry about that internet and then interruption.
Yeah, sorry. Blackout.
Okay. Oh, so
Yeah. So, yeah. Got to cut it there.
so power loss game stops for now.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Here.
I called the power company, and they said it's going to be done within 2 hours because it's happening somewhere else. So yeah.
Of course. So we don't
Yeah.
even get to proceed. That's alright. I'm
All
sorry.
right, surprise preview.
Yeah.